Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Happy Tuesday to you all on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. And we're back with Liam again. Liam is back after his run. So, Liam, you tuned in last night. Me and Mick had a good conversation and then went solo for a while just discussing the game. Tomorrow, obviously, we're going for 5 in a row. It's going to be, I know we've a lot of some Celtic fans think we still have a lot to play for, regards to a bit of hope there that the Rangers mess up and we could actually pull us back, So I'll just say a welcome to everyone that's watching in from the social media platforms. I will give you a couple of shout outs and we'll go through some questions as well. So we have a good bit to talk about tonight. We're obviously going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about Neil Lennon's interview. We're going to talk about the abuse James McClean has been getting on social media as well, because it's been a talking point all over social media, and plus because I like James McClean because he's an Irish man, I was going to back up my own. So, first of all, how did you feel over the weekend with the results? Were you happy with the results against St. Johnstone?
I was a bit shaky to. Obviously, we done well at the start of the game, and we took a while to get into it. But obviously, when we conceded that goal, you kind of start second. You kind of start doubting yourself, like doubting the team. But when Eddie took his 2 goals, I was like, it's brilliant. I mean, it's good that the big man's getting into form, but it's a bit too late.
It is. It's a bit too late. But you know what? It's mad to think like he could finish on 20 goals by the end of the season. Doesn't even feel like he's on that many goals, like 20 odd goals, the way he's been playing this season. But all we can hope is just keep him banging goals in, and then the club will evaluate him at the end of the season. Hope we get a decent fee from him. It depends who wants to come in. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Edward came out and said in the French media that he thinks the champ's going to be a hit at Marseille. What do you think of that?
Well, maybe he just wasn't. It was like he could be a hit at Marseille because obviously he's playing in the French league, and he's obviously he's obviously from France, so basically. In Scotland, I think he just he wasn't really getting on well at Celtic the last year, obviously because he wasn't getting played that much. And I think that since Ncham's left and since Frimpong's left,
mm-hmm.
there has been more opportunity to teams. So obviously the team's stepping up because they realise that they've got to step up. Obviously, if Edward wants his big sign and move, then he's obviously starting to play well for the team now. I mean, I just didn't look like he was bothered like at the start of last season, but I mean, it's good that the team's starting to play well now.
Do you think it's down to the change to the diamond as well?
Excuse me?
Do you think it's the change because of the formation as well, that we're going into a diamond formation?
Yeah, I think so. I think it is. I mean, I think that the team's trained quite a lot in the training pitch, and it has worked for them, so we just play whatever works, I mean, obviously Scott Brown's came back into the team. He's brought a bit of leadership to the team, and he's obviously helped some of the young guys that are playing in the team, like Welsh and Turnbull and all that. So I mean, we're doing really good, and hopefully we can get that win tomorrow.
That's a ball comment there from Roxanne. How's it going, Roxanne? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to everyone that tuned in tonight from all over the platforms. If you could give it a wee share as well, and if he's subscribed to the YouTube channel, we're going for 5K, as I said. Once we get to this 5,000 subscribers, I have a big announcement. It's going to help people that are suffering with mental health. I'm going to do something big for mental health. Now, Liam knows what it is. He's not going to leak it. Connor nearly leaked it the other day, but I killed him for it. But yeah, so
my lips are sealed.
It's look at what's way. It's a trip to Glasgow anyway. It's a trip to Glasgow for a good cause. So that's all I can say about that. But I think that's an outrageous comment. Tommy Roy is better than Neil Lennon. No,
I wouldn't say so. No chance. Neil Lennon he's had some obviously he's had some bad results, but what manager doesn't? I mean, he's starting to get the results now, but all we can do is play each game, one game at a time, and hopefully there's other teams that do us favours, but we can't expect other teams to do us favours to be honest. But I'm just hoping for a
Look,
big finish.
We all want Lennon out. We do want Lennon out, but it's getting to the stage where you see it all over. It's literally riddled all over Twitter. It's riddled all over social media. It's all over the bleeding Facebook page or the not Instagram, the YouTube, Lennon out. I'm just putting the football comment saying, look, we all want it, but it's not going to happen. Just get on with it. He's here to the end of the season. The club came out and said it, as I said to Mick last night, if anyone wasn't watching, Celtic Fan TV, Paul sent a letter to Ian Bankier. Bankier got back to him saying that they're reviewing their financial status of the club and then they will make a decision on the managerial appointment or keep. I just have that feeling in the bones, and I say this again, I just think Neil Lennon is probably going to be kept on, as much as I don't want to see it happen.
Yeah, I think they're just going to see out the season, see where it goes, and
sorry for interrupting you, Liam. Do you think a case that if he claws it back to about 6 points, 7 points, he's going to keep his job?
I don't think so. What I think that's going to happen is the Celtic board, especially with the new chairman in, I think they're going to take their time and evaluate the situation, and I think they're going to look for a full, fresh backroom staff. So I'm speaking about, like, they'll take out the full backroom team, and I think they're going to, once they bring in director of football, which they're taking their time in doing, they need to choose a good director of football, and they'll just go from there. They'll get a new manager, they'll get a new
there was a lad linked from Huddersfield, David Webb. I was looking at this lad today. I'm not keen. I'd rather take a lad from Donegal, to be honest. Not keen whatsoever. Look at, but the director of football has to be appointed, and he said that they have come out and said that they're in the review of getting a director of football in. So if anyone that's watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, which just click the link that I'm just putting into the comment there for the YouTube channel. Just go on, give it a sub. I'm not asking you to go donate any money in any case. I'm just asking you to go and subscribe to the channel. As I said, we need to get the following up. The only way it's going to happen if you can help us out, and I really appreciate the support so far. Right, we're going to move on to the game tomorrow. So 6 o'clock kickoff, bit of a strange one. Now it's not on Sky Sports. Obviously it's a home game, so past the paradise you're going to get it. I know other people are going to watch it in different ways. We won't say this, you know. But I have said it as well that some people actually don't rather actually watch it through Facebook. Some people record for the people on Celtic groups and watch from there. Now I wouldn't be able to watch someone record off the phone and watch the Facebook group. That's not my level. I don't do it. You know, it wouldn't be my thing. But are you nervous about Aberdeen tomorrow?
I'm nervous about it. I would say I'm a bit optimistic about it, but at the same time, we can't underestimate Aberdeen. I mean, they've lost 6 games in a row. Is it? I think it's 6.
No, they draw 1 out of them 6, and they haven't won in 6.
Yeah, so I mean,
let's go to Aberdeen's form at the moment, right?
Either in bad form, but I mean, a team in bad form, that is dangerous.
That puts more pressure.
Yeah, definitely.
More pressure. Like looking at these results, you're saying just on Tuesday, that's like bottom of the table results right there. So you got beaten, but they drew the weekend to St. Mirren. We all know what St. Mirren have in the locker. They're a good side. Jim Goodwin has them playing good football. Obviously, they got the result at Celtic Park. They were the last team to beat us at Celtic Park. Losing 2-0 to Hibs away in Easter Road, losing at home to Livingston, drawing away to Livingston 0-0, and drawing 0-0 to St. Johnson away. Now we obviously we're only coming back from McDermott Park. They've only conceded 16 goals this season at McDermott Park. So they're going back to our last win, and the last win was at Pittodrie on the 23rd of January, a 2-0 win against a 10-man Motherwell side. And then they got hammered in the previous fixture to Ross County 4-1 away. And then the previous fixture, Rangers beat them 2-1 away, and then they drew 0-0 to Dundee United. So in the last 10 11 games, they haven't been really at the races.
No, they have let my football come down a couple of times because of that. But I mean, they're kind of on my shit list right now. I've got a shit list in my football coupon, so Aberdeen's on it just now. So yeah, I see we've got quite a lot of comments saying Lenny must go tonight. We've got quite a few.
It's not going to happen. I just, I know we're all, as I said, I'm in that Lennon out band. We're all in it. At the end of the day, I don't think he deserves to be kept on. If he builds a case of Don McCoy and says, look, I've been here and I've won titles, my CV speaks for it. But it's what the fans, at the end of the day, you got to realise they're literally playing forward with this. If we're going into another pandemic, well, we're in another season with pandemic style the way it is, with the grounds being empty, they need to sell it to the fans. And a lot of fans have came out and said it already that they're on renewing because they're anxious because they think that Neil Lennon's going to get it again.
Yeah, that's what I was saying the last time I was on here. Basically, you've got to be able to sell a product, convince fans that it's going to get better. But I mean, how can you convince fans it's going to get better if the club comes out with that statement the other day, just blame it in COVID? All they done was blame it in COVID. And we're not actually in a right good place at the moment because of COVID, but we can't use it as an excuse. I mean, there's a lot of fans paying brilliant money.
Well, to be honest with you, this is what's going to happen next season. A lot of clubs in Scottish football, clubs in worldwide football, are going to go belly up. So it's a case that Celtic will look at the books and say, holy shit, what are we going to do the following season? What's going to happen the following season then? You might not have like an Aberdeen, Aberdeen are paying $1 million a week to keep the lights on. And for their stature, that's a lot of money. I don't know how much it's costing Celtic a weekly basis. I haven't looked into the finances. I sent you an article earlier on about their Dermot Desmond. Was it 5.8 million he lost out on since the?
Yeah, you said to me 6 million. I did say to you, well, nowadays that's basically pennies to Celtic. But at the same time,
pennies to Celtic, but he won't even pay that on a bleeding decent player. Right, we're going to move on to this game. I know I've said it like 4 times. So last time we played Aberdeen, we beat them in the cup semi-final at Hampden 2-0. Yep. Now look at it's last year's tournament. I know it's this season, but last year's tournament. And then we got back to the Tawdry 3-all. The result that Lennon should have left. That should have been.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just as I said, the movement of him that day, the way he's sitting there sulking. You could see that between him and Kennedy, there was no plan B there. Scott Brown came on, Lee Griffiths came on, scored an absolute belter, and then we gave away a penalty at the end. Callum McGregor gave away a penalty. Oh, it was just an absolute shambles of a game, a 3-all game. And then I remember Callum McGregor saying after the game, "Oh, this could be a vital point in the title race towards the end of the season."
Well, basically, that game, a lot of fans weren't happy, and rightly so. I was one of the unhappy ones, but it was quite a funny time that, because there was a lot of players that didn't seem interested, and it was just a really bad time we were going through at that stage. I don't know what's happened, but something did happen at that stage, and now we're actually come back from being 1-0 down to 2-1 at the weekend. It just showed how much we're fighting now. But I mean, we should have been like out the gates at the start of the season, no messing about, but we weren't. I mean, so there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes.
So Karen says, if Lennon says if you don't renew, that's somebody else will buy it. Yeah, that's a good point. It is a good point, but at the same time, how many people will renew? How many people will still be in the waiting list as well? Karen, that's the question. I don't want to be anti pure buzzkill on this podcast. I'm not in here to moan about how the club's being run. It's just the facts. It's just the facts that it has been a shambles this season. From the very loss to now, which obviously we're picking a bit of form. But when we came back after the boy, Hibs, then Livingston, then St Mirren, it's just an absolute laughable season. So I'm gonna fancy tomorrow. I'm gonna fancy me starting lineup, and then I'll say we'll go through names starting lineup. I'm gonna go with Bain in goal. Mm-hmm. Gonna go with John Joe Kenny. John's watching this from Liverpool. He's like, yeah, that's my brother. That's my brother. I'm gonna go with John Joe Kenny. I'm gonna go with Taylor left back. I thought Taylor played actually pretty decent the other day. Except from that shot he took trying to take on in the first, that was a bit pathetic. But played quite well, I thought. Taylor did. I can fancy well to being back in tomorrow. Please, I just, you know what, we can't have Duffy in there tomorrow. He was a nervous wreck.
He was really nervous, especially at set pieces.
He was a nervous wreck, and I know, and it's look at Welch is probably only paying for like 10 grand at the moment, and Duffy's on 60 grand a week. Doesn't really, like, the wage bill is going to be cut like mad in the summer. So it gives us an idea. It gives us an injection to go out and actually domestically buy players for the upcoming season. And I said this in the previous podcast. The likes of what Gordon Strachan done. Gordon Strachan bringing a lot of domestic players in his tender Celtic. I think that's the route we need to go down, regards to getting recruitment players in that people that know the league. Because I don't think if we don't qualify for the Champions League, you know, that's going to hit the pockets worse, because we don't know when we're going to be where we are with the pandemic as well, with season books and stuff like that. So I'm going to put with Oyer and Welch in there midfield. He's going to go with Scott Brown, even though I'd like to see Sorrow come back in. He's going to go with Scott Brown because it's Aberdeen. It's Aberdeen. He knows at the point of Aberdeen. He's going to go with Scott Brown. He's going to be Cal Mack in there. I have a feeling about Cal Mack scoring tomorrow. I just have that sneaky feeling. You know, just something in there, feeling about this Cal Mack in there. Look, he's watching. Connor's watching on Facebook.
Hey, Connor, what's happening, mate?
So Cal Mack in there with Turnbull. I would go with. I'd take Rodgers out tomorrow. I'd take Rodgers out. I know people say what. I don't think he was at the races the other day. Previous games.
He's still got 90 minutes done, which I was impressed with. I mean, I've not seen him doing 90 minutes in ages. I mean, that's been for nearly over a year. I
put Rosette Christie in it, as people are giving Christie about Rosette. But he scored last week against St. Mirren. So Rosette Christie in there and two up front, because obviously we didn't play two up front on Sunday up in Perth. I'm gonna go with Ajeti, and I'm gonna go with Edward. Now Neil Lennon came out and said that he was a bit stiff, wasn't ready to play. But look, I'm hoping Ajeti comes back into it. We need to get Ajeti on a bit of form, start getting the money back off, start showing the valuation of him, because he seems like he wants to be there and he wants to actually prove himself in the Celtic shirt, which he should be, because he's on a decent amount of money. So Lisbon, would you pay Ajeti? What's the point of Lennon, who lied regularly all season that he wouldn't get a run, then he drops him? As we spoke, he needs to play him. Simple as that, you know. And it's a case that will Griffiths come off the bench and make a point, because Griffiths loves scoring against Aberdeen.
Yeah, I think that Griffiths just came on. He came on at the weekend. I think it was only 15 minutes to go, 10 or 15 minutes to go. He came on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he threw himself a wee bit, but I wouldn't say there was anything to run home about.
Right about, yeah. There wasn't, no. I mean, that's what we need. We need that kind of super sub impact, especially with McClean on the bench. Regardless, you know, we need someone to go in there. It could be a case that Neil Lennon said, you know what, just park the bus, just do what he can, chase back. But Edward, the weekend, there was a case in the second half. They were on attacking. They were on the counter attack, and he was running back. He ran all the way back. I think after that second goal, was that confidence?
He wants to play. You know, I mean, he's trying his best. I mean, whatever was there before is away now. So I have quite a lot of high hopes for Eddie, and hopefully he stays by the summer. I mean, because Lenny did say that I don't want to even think about him going. So
no, he's gonna go. He's gonna go. You know, like, and this is what the club are going on. They were bragging about this in the statement yesterday, saying that we went into this season with we're optimistic. We kept our key players, considering European. They didn't qualify for the Champions League. Like, we're not going to keep our key players. You know, I think some of these players are going to realise, it's like, right, if the option comes in for me, I'm gone. Like, Frimpong's gone. He wasn't happy, and we don't know who's unhappy behind the scenes. Like it seems like Ryan Christie's all right, even though he's interviewed the other day. He seemed like he was like, "Oh, we have a target that we're going to go and beat him for the rest of the season." You know, Lennon came out and said that he's planning to play Christie more because he's fighting and training that he wants to play and he's eager to play. if Christie's eager to play and wants to turn on the stuff that he done last season, score crackers and get the assist and actually put on Europa League levels as well, get him in there.
Yeah, definitely. Like, obviously, Ryan's not had much success with his shot conversion as of late, but he does work. Yeah, he does work hard. He works hard off the ball to get the ball back, and he does. He's really good at trying to get the ball out to wing and crossing it in. So, as long as he's doing that, and he's doing some really good touches, and he's got a bit of pace about him, then that like lifts the team to do well. So, as long as he's not wasting any more shots like he done in the last couple of games against Rangers, but like I don't have a problem with him being on the wing. You know what I mean? I don't have.
I don't know. I know this sounds. People will probably disagree. I just think the Ryan Christie that we're looking at is like that type of Ryan Christie, maybe force line, very fragile, didn't know where to. And someone made a good point on the podcast I was watching yesterday that when we played Turnbull, when we played Rodgers, when we played Christie, they're all kind of trying to do the same thing because they're all attacking midfielders playing out that kind of out position with the most suited. So that's why I'm going with Christie in there tomorrow. I think Christie can offer a bit. And if Tom comes on, bring Tom on at half time, see how the game's going. Because Tom loves a goal against Aberdeen as well. We look at that, obviously, go back to that treble goal. You know, unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, that League Cup final goal, it was.
Yeah, obviously the Scottish Cup final, and then he scored 2 goals in the League Cup against them as well, as far as I remember.
I mean, Tom Rodgers says he's brilliant. His footwork's good whenever he's on his game. When he's off his game, you can forget it. But when he's on his game, I mean, he brings you some really good quality.
100%. Right, we need to clear out from top to bottom to be got to be drastic shape or get back to where we were to be. I think it's going to be, as I said this, I think it's going to be a 2-year plan to rebuild the stature that we should be at.
Well, I think that if we were to qualify for the Champions League, which will be a miracle, then that would lift us. But I mean, if we had a good run in the Europa League group stages, then that also give us a lift. I mean, I think just because we done really bad in Europe last year, I think the whole team just felt hard done by.
I'm going to say it now, you're saying about the Champions League, so realistically, with the shape up to summer, I don't think we'll even have a squad to even be competitive in the Champions League. I know financially we need to be in the Champions League. What's the point of us going into the Champions League and getting slapped around with a team that might not be used to playing with each other? We don't know who's going to be lined up next season. So someone said in the comments about Scott Brown, like, I'd keep Scott Brown in the books. I wouldn't play him in every game because his legs are nearly gone. You know, they're nearly gone. But we need to have that figure in there as well. And we need Scott Brown for Champions League qualifiers. And that's my opinion. I think we need Scott Brown Champions League qualifiers. If you get him a half, bring in Sorrow, get Sorrow in there, breaking them up. You know.
Yeah, I think that. I'm not sure. I'd like to see him in Champions League qualifiers, but I'm still sticking by it.
What about if we go back to the formation that we done with back in the day with Neil Lennon done with Wanyama and Brown in there? Sorrow and Brown.
That would be good, but I'm just sticking to my ones.
Then I'll have Carl pushing up. Now, obviously, it means you're losing out on Turnbull playing Jamesy on the right. Perhaps I don't know who's going to be here in the summer on the left wing. You know, you can't even say who's going to be on the left wing. Summer, Mikey Johnston, and then one up front. That's a formation we could go as well. I don't know if there's much core in the midfield though, because it could be real defensively, but attacking wise, going through the middle. Do you take Carl out and do you bring Turnbull in?
Well, the thing about Mikey Johnson is the last game I seen him in, he didn't look impressive at all. I'm not sure if he was smart, if it was just a case he was the match fit, if it was just being lazy and expecting the ball to come to his feet. I'm not sure because he's not played in a few games, so I'd have to evaluate the situation again. If he was to get a run of games, then maybe. But I'd say that he does have his moments, but I wouldn't say that he's Celtic class, to be honest.
Now, would you settle for the Europa League in the summer? So with this rebuilding, and we get knocked out in the fourth round of the Champions League qualifiers, which is, well, it's not fourth round, it's going to be the third round Champions League qualifiers. We're going to be in for a potential playoff in Europa League, and we get into Europa League. Would you settle with that? Because Celtic, like Europa League, look at how bad we were this season, Europa League.
Yeah, I would settle for Europa League, but obviously, if we were to get in the Champions League, then obviously, like every other Celtic player, I'd be pure buzzing about it.
It break my heart if we get into the Champions League and there's no fans in that stadium.
Yeah, that'd be typical because I mean,
Champions League music, and you can't even hear the lads in the corner ripping it up. That would be, or even just the Celtic fans in general. You never walk alone. That's what I miss. I miss you never walk alone. The most for the big games.
A Champions League night at Celtic Park, you can't beat it. I've been to many, and so have you.
I've only been to four. My first ever game was the Champions League, Milan and Celtic, 2007, 0-0, and then we got beaten unfortunately in extra time in the away tie in the San Siro. Porridge had a man of a match performance. We played actually lethal. It's only for Kaka got us on the break and scored an absolute cracking goal against us. And Porridge was unlucky. He's unlucky.
Yeah, no, I mean, was that the game where Tom Gravison was playing as well?
Tom Gravison, yeah, we had a van.
I was at a game.
You were in the San Siro away?
No, it was Parkhead, was it?
Oh, Celtic Park. Yes, he started with Gravison and Snowy in the midfield. I remember. I think Yarosey came on. I'm not. As far as I remember, Kenny Miller was up front. I think
so, yeah.
People are going to be like, why are you saying his name on this channel for? But he was actually pretty decent. He was actually decent for Celtic in European level. You know,
yeah,
he did put a shift in.
Yeah, he did serve as well. Basically, see, the only time I've been away was at Sunderland for a friendly game. That's the only time I've been away to see like Celtic, past Scotland. I mean, I've been to
my away game is in Dublin against Liverpool. Was
that at Croke Park?
No, the Aviva. We're not allowed to play football as real Irish people call it, soccer. The only time we played. I was actually at the first ever Ireland international game, football international game in Croke Park. Stephen Lorden scored against Wales. El Geesey and I was playing. Was Bellamy playing? I think Bellamy was actually playing.
All right.
I think Bellamy was playing.
Was Gary Speed playing? Was Gary Speed playing at the time? Or?
No, I think he retired.
Right.
He only retired in a couple of years. But yeah, Stephen Lorden scored. Madness, like the pitch, because the Gaelic pitches are massive, and then they put a soccer pitch on it. It was just like, oh Jesus, look at it out the rim, like whoa. They just literally put them. Obviously sponsor stuff at the back of the goal was just massive, like it was unbelievable. But yeah, I've been to a couple of Ireland games at Croke Park when the Croke Park's only down the road for me. So I remember we drew to Cyprus. Oh Jesus, I was there. We drew 0-0 to Germany. I was there when he played Brazil, when he played Poland, got beaten with Poland, unfortunately. Who else did he? I was there when we beat Bulgaria. Stan Petchok was playing for Bulgaria.
Oh, class.
Old Petchok was playing. Martin Petchok was playing as well.
Was that when they played for Villa?
Petchok was playing for Villa, yeah. Petchok was literally at Villa a year and a half when we played them. So, yeah, that was good times. No, it was about 2 years he was at Villa, but we go back onto the Celtics, so folks, just change it around for different. So Roxanne says, for me, the only reason to start Christie is to put him in the shop window and get him sold. Well, to be honest with you, we have Euros coming up and he needs to turn up the heat to get into that squad. We've talked about this on previous podcasts. You're probably wondering why I have the pink. I just said I put the pink on for the laugh on the jersey. What's your opinion on this jersey, Liam?
Well, I'm not really much. I wouldn't wear pink because it doesn't suit me. I mean, it's not exactly my favourite colour. The missus, she bought me a pink polo shirt once for my birthday. And I was like, what are you doing buying that for? And she went, what's wrong with it? And I was like, it's pink. And she went, it's no pink, it's salmon. I'm like, shut up. So, like, I ended up just training for another colour. I mean, all the way up green or black or sometimes grey.
This is the iconic jersey that was voted probably the worst Celtic jersey of all time. And to be honest, I actually think it's cool. I think it's comfortable. Good air holes in it, it's not that bad. You can rake it out to me. I'm sure if Celtic actually did wear it, a lot of people change opinions. And that would be one of them people where I've seen a kid being released and I'm just like, I don't know about that. And then they wear them like, it's actually not too bad then. And then you go into the Celtic shop, and like,
no, I just like this is like my favourite jersey because it just reminds me of
the Black Magic
season and Moussa Dembele, and it just reminds me of that season, and
the Paddy Roberts goal in the Etihad. That's the goal.
I mean, we just done brilliant that season, and like I just remember being at the 5-1 game and seeing Moussa score that hat trick. I mean, that'll be with me for the rest of my days. I mean, it was just. I was
going into that game, right? You cracked the whiskey open at 10 o'clock that morning, and I'm saying to myself, this is going to be a draw. This is we could just scrape it past these. I know they're only being promoted, but I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it that we absolutely scalped them that day. I was like, unbelievable, the best games I've ever watched.
It's because Griff, he got injured that day. So see if he didn't get injured, Moussa wouldn't have played.
Yeah, Griffiths was injured the night before when he was in Everton. He was injured, and then he had to go with Moussa. And I was saying to myself, would Moussa even cover it? Because I know we only signed Moussa recently at the time from Fulham. He covered Derby, and they were saying, I know Rangers, as we say, Rangers are dead now, but they were saying the last person to score a hat trick was in 1966 was Chalmers, and then obviously Moussa done it. But what a day! Even the display, the flag of war. It was just, and then Joey Barton thought he could dominate Scottish football and all. It was
I get drunk even thinking about that game. I'm thinking, I'm kind of like half cutting my mind right now even thinking about that game. I was so pissed. Like I drank a bottle of Mad Dog
all day, wasn't it? Just that domination song all day.
I drank a bottle of Mad Dog on the way up there, on my team bus, on the supporters bus. I came back to the pub in Paisley and just like I stayed there till about 7 at night. The missus she wasn't happy with me because I was late for my tea. I was worth it, but it was worth it.
My ex-missus the same. She was like to me because I had the youngest, I had the babs in the house. She was trade client, and she was like, "Oh, you can't be drinking really." And I was like, "Well, it's a Glasgow derby, like you're not letting me on the booze for this. So I have to drink, So eventually she went off with the babs at 2 o'clock. She came back, and I was like, "Okay, I'm going now." So I went up to the local booze. I went up with my mate is a Man United fan, but we went up anyway and just watched the football all day. Right there. So whoever's watching this as well, if he's going to bring up the 5-1 game, obviously when we scaled them, we beat them 5-1 a couple of times. But the Dembele hat trick, he's going to tell us what he's up to that day, if he's can remember as well. But John from Liverpool was giving me abuse. That jersey's effing honking. Look the way we have the yellow away kids. To be honest, I think next season we're going to go. I think next season we're going to go on.
I've got a yellow and green kit, man. I've got that one. What player reminds you wearing that kit? I'm trying to think. There's certain player.
This kit, Ryan Christie.
The yellow and green one. Remember the yellow one with the green stripe?
Green stripe. Oh, the one that just last season.
No, it was the season before that. I'm going. Who reminds me? Oh, sick line, Derek Barrichter. He wore.
Oh, that one with the V-neck and the markers and the stripes going. Oh yeah, that was it. That was a belter. That was actually a belter. I remember we hammered Kilmarnock in that kit, and then we obviously played the Champions League as well. I think Van Dijk got sent off. Or was it? No, it wasn't. That was against Milan. We got beaten by Milan away, and we wore it in Ajax as well. We did that yellow kit. That was a belter of a kit. The yellow one.
Yeah, was that not the season we beat Ajax at home? James Forrest scored the winner.
Yeah, we don't show. We didn't qualify.
I was there. Oh, it was brilliant, man. See, the Ajax fans who were pure scum. But, I mean, the amount of shit that were thrown, I mean, I was in the stand near them and, but once we scored that winning goal, the whole place just went mental, man. I mean, but the Ajax fans they're scum of the earth. Scum of the
If I had people, and you know what, there's some. I met a group of Celtic fans that were Dutch in Vinny's one night, and they were half them were home were saying that half them were Ajax fans and half them were Feyenoord fans. I was like, you can't do that. He goes, we don't. Celtic and Ajax have a bad relation. We've always had a bad relation. Like we get on well with Feyenoord. You know, obviously we share that anthem with them, and I remember one of the lads put up yesterday a picture of. We made Nick put up a picture of Doug Cow outside Celtic Park when he played James Milner game, Petrov game. Like, oh man, Cow fucking last season Feyenoord won the league for them. The last game of the season, scored a hat-trick to win the league for them. Now I'm a big fan of Dutch football. I won't watch Dutch football. You know, I'd obviously know the big ones like PSV, Ajax, Feyenoord, Vitesse. Who else is there? Grongil, that Virgil van Dijk came from. You know, they're the only ones I can think of. But yeah, not a fan of Ajax whatsoever. Let's talk about spot on Kenny regards to Ajeti staying in the 18-yard box. He has plenty of goals, but Clement needs to be given a proper chance. I think next season, if the cups are on, I'd give Ajeti and Clement a goal front because we're going to have three strikers. I don't know what's going to happen with Boyo. As I said this in a few last podcasts, I don't know if Boyo's going to come back and actually have a future at Celtic.
Well, I think that, I think Griff was a brilliant play done this time, but for Celtic, he put in a good service for us. But at the same time, I think he's away to Hibs next season. I can see him being away next season.
As I said this last night, I said I'm very grateful for his service in the club. I just think it's maybe time he does move on.
Yeah.
Maybe, as I said, maybe we need to get someone young and eager in that wants to do it. Like, you know, I'd replace him with Shankland. I really would. Shankland's actually starting a bit form.
Yeah.
Scored 2 nice goals the weekend as well.
Yeah, Laurie Shankland's a brilliant player, done brilliant for Ayr as well as United. That's how we got recognised.
I know. Obviously, with Aberdeen, he wasn't great at Aberdeen, but I think, you know, if he's playing international football, there must be something in him. I would take Shankland at Celtic. Like, I came out and said this last week. If I was going domestically, I'd go with Nesbitt, Shankland. I'd go with Hibs keeper. I'd go with Gallagher. I'd go with McDonald. Not O'Donnell. Sorry, O'Donnell. I was getting McDonald and O'Donnell. Go with him. I'll go with the other.
How about Porteous? Is the same.
Oh, I better pronounce that. Porteous. Never pronounce it. I always forget how to pronounce the name. Porteous. I'd go with him. I'd go with domestic. These are the type of players I'd go for, and they'd actually do a job. I really would.
He'd be brilliant in a Glasgow derby. It was that good for Tavernier never even shook his hands after the final whistle. He was winding him up that much.
Yeah, and I know we should have went in for Sam Cosgrove, you know, in the last window. I know he's off now.
Yeah, Sam Cosgrove would have been good. The one that got away from us is definitely McGinn.
Definitely.
That was the one that got away.
I think that's the way Celtic should go next season. Go with all this kind of, you maybe get one or two players in the Championship or a sneaky Scandinavian. So I'm like, you know, don't be going with someone that's like plays in Slovakian league, like what boy, or I think the recruitment, we do need to change the recruitment as well and the scouts.
Yeah, that's what I said at the start of the show.
And that's even youth development as well.
Yeah, full backroom staff. Maybe keep big Mick going. You know, Stephen McManus.
I love McManus. I loved him as a captain Celtic as well. Big Macker.
I mean, he's doing really good right now in the under 23 team. Is
Deutsch, would you take Deutsch off him? I don't know a bit about him. Would you take him?
I don't know, man. I mean, it's one of the ones. Do you take a chance? Do you know it? It's just one of the ones.
Iceland deal, boy, won't get one free, is it?
I give him gifts. That'd be actually quite a good spot.
It
would be.
I'd take that keeper. I think that keeper's pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's good as well. He's proven himself. But is he better than Scott Bain, do you think?
No, I can't see Celtic going out. Do you see what happened with Barkas? Like, Barkas were voted the runners-up and keeper of the year in Greek.
There must not be that many keepers in Greece.
And I've seen a few comments, people saying, was it Georgia Samras that won it? Big Sammy and goals. Big Sammy and goals. Oh, he'd probably do a better job anyway. No, as I said this, I think Barkas will bounce back. I think Barkas will be given a chance under a new manager. Hopefully it's a new manager. Touch wood. He gets a chance and he proves himself and gets the haters, proves the haters wrong, because I feel sorry for him. I really do. Like, he does that caliber. Like, you look at his YouTube videos, he's actually pretty decent. I know they're always going to put in the best bits of a keeper. I know that, but even the best bits, like you find Bayern Munich in the Champions League the year that they beat us to get into the Champions League AEK. And this saves is putting off away to Bayern Munich. Pulled off through 15 saves. Like, go to the Allianz Arena and pull off so many saves against a class like Bayern. Something else, you know.
Well, I just think that the foreign players that came in this year, it's the worst year for them to come in, because all they're doing is training, staying at a hotel, training, staying at a hotel, not getting that much time to go out and. I was
told the other night by a lad on Instagram, we had a good controversial chat where I felt like I was wrong in some parts and I was right in some parts. We came at the end, we couldn't agree on some things, and I really appreciate Sean coming on the other night. We had a great chat. It was 2:00 in the morning. I was quite steaming, and I was going on a bit of the whole Shane Duffy. People need to lay off, and I just felt like there's a form of bullying going on, and we're going to go into the whole James McClean stuff in a few minutes. But we had a good conversation about who we bring in, and what Sean was saying basically. Jeez, I'm going blank for a second here. I can't even think. What was I saying? About Duffy. I was like, I think some Celtic fans are going overboard about Shane Duffy. Yeah, he has caused errors, and if that was any other defender, because he's on loan and he's getting £60 a week, they would have been dropped. You wouldn't see the Celtic shirt again. Mm-hmm. Do you think that? Do you think Celtic are being held for ransom, that you have to play him?
Yeah, it's kind of 50-50 on it, because you're like, Neil Lyon's getting put pressure on by the chairman, obviously, to say, look, we spent this amount of money on him, play him, and he done okay at the weekend, but at the same time he just done okay. I mean, during the set plays he was nervous. I mean, he's about 6'4" or 6'5", and there's been times he was up for a 50-50 head, and there's no way I've never seen anybody at that height no win a 50-50 against a wee guy. So, I mean, I think that basically Welsh is the man to replace him, so is Azure and Welsh. You should have them, if they're fit, have them at the back. But
where do you see near Beaton? He's another year and a half left in his contract.
I wouldn't say near Beaton's a centre half, no chance. I'd keep my centre defensive midfielder, but
I don't think he's ever played there again, to be honest. You know, unless he's going to look at Beaton as a number 2, I'm sorry if Brownie moves on next season. I watched the video. A shout out to Hamish on LL67. He done a fantastic video on contracts, who's up next season, who's still at the club. Give it a watch. It's quite scary. We've Feckle on the wings. Feckle. Nothing on the wing. We have Mikey Johnson and James Forrest.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need a couple of good wingers, and I mean, John Joe, he's a
big Martin Boylan. Big boiler.
No, I mean, you see John Joe, right? It's a right back, but he'll still produce crosses into the box for you. But there's only so much he can do, because sometimes he has to stay back. The thing I liked about Duffy at the weekend, he wasn't pushing up. He was just a no frills centre half. I mean, but sometimes he'll push up with the ball, and I'm thinking, you can't play football. You're a centre half. Just stay back, you know. I mean,
he can't push up, and I know he's got away from the Premier League with some opposition, but I don't think we have the confidence, and he's just even passing the ball. You just have that anxiety that he's going to mess it up. And look at I hope Shane bounces back as in his career. I really do. As I said, it's been a tough year for him. I think some Celtic fans went overboard, and I know well, obviously Sky Sports and social media going on about trolls and stuff like that. But there has been a small portion of Air fans that have trolled up in Shane Duffy's account as well. And you see it. When something goes wrong, we're all quick enough to say that player's the fault. But it's the team that caused the problems as well, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if the team's under pressure, then obviously there's going to be a few other players in the team that's going to be under pressure. I mean, that's what happens, especially if you lose a goal. Then sometimes fans are going to look for somebody to blame. So, I mean, I do see it in the comments, like the amount of abuse he's getting, even when he comes out and says, "I'll hold my hands up, it was a bad game, but I'm moving on to the next game." So
that's the best way you can do it, to be honest. Right, so John from Liverpool. I love Duffy, absolutely heartbroken, ain't worked out for him. Got him on my jersey before he was loving life with his side. I think we were all loving life with his side. But do you know what? Like, as I put the picture last night, and someone on Facebook was like, "Well, he didn't get medal, and there's a medal on his top. There's a medal. Marvin Cockburn, 2 league medals."
Yeah, that's unbelievable, man. Did you see that thing when he was getting his league medal? I think it was it was the year before last year, and people are sarcastically clapping him and cheering him.
Yeah, that's the one I put up, and there's a picture of him smiling. And someone said, someone comments below, like on the picture, I'm like, he didn't get a medal, and he's clearly wearing a medal, and people are writing into him saying, "Jesus, what are you talking about? Like, you don't have a clue, mate." Well, look at.
I mean, that's something to put in the CV. I don't even know where he plays for anymore.
Look at Chris Collins got a medal his last season at Celtic when he played at Hibs. He even played one game that season for Celtic. It's scandalous. But I just want to say to people that are watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, give it a retweet, give it a share, tag a friend who want to join the conversation. As I said, we're going for 5K, so it's up to you if you could give us a week subscribe if you haven't. If you have, I just want to say thank you very much. See the regular names in there. Sounds a pound. Absolutely brilliant. Amanda just up the on. Amanda, we won't be playing music tonight. That'll be tomorrow, maybe perhaps tomorrow, maybe before the game kicks off. I might get a few Celtic songs on. It won't be Rebel songs, so I might get a few Celtic songs on. Get people in the mood for the game tomorrow. Liam Shaw from Sheffield Wednesday. I don't know much about him, EV. I'm gonna have to look him up.
I got me confused with Luke Shaw there. I was thinking for Luke Shaw for a second. I was like, hey, no bad. Like, I wouldn't mind Luke Shaw. Celtic, obviously, it's not going to happen. I can only dream. But
Combear's retired. Combear's not retired. He'll still come back to the Christmas Celtic parties in his brown suit. What are you talking about?
He'll be at bar 67 and all that.
Yeah, that's it. You see him and Grace is up on the stage. Singing a bit of Celtic symphony. Big combo.
Beaton plays centre half for Israel.
He done well against Scotland last time you played him. Centre half in Hampden.
Yeah, he played the game of his life, and I'm thinking, is this a different guy? So did El Hamid. I was like, they've never played this well for Celtic.
I felt, do you know what? We go back to El Hamid. Like, I just felt sorry for him. There was 1 or 2 gobshites that came on the page. Like, why did he sign for Celtic? I'm like, he signed for Celtic because it's a professional job. He got offered a job to come and play for one of the best clubs in the world, sport best clubs in the world.
Yeah, of course.
And if you're missing your family, you're missing your kids, I'd be gone. I wouldn't care about football. You know, like some Celtic fans are going to realise that these people, it's a job to them. It's not. They don't grow up as Celtic fans. They don't. They know at the end of the day, if they have to leave for personal issues, let the person go off. I'd rather that person move on than be unhappy at the club and then trying to get him back into the squad and he's playing shocking. You know, we don't need that. But one or 2 people that are just like don't understand that, like they just think that the sun shines out of their arse and everyone has to be on A game. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. It's a pandemic. You're homesick. You're missing your family. You go, and that's it. You go.
Well, we're only human at the end of the day, and money doesn't give you happiness. So, basically, what it is especially during the pandemic, he's going to be in a hotel room training, missing his family, probably having video calls with them. But I mean, he needs that connection with them. So if he's wanting to go back to Israel and he's really happy to see his family, he's wanting to play football at an Israeli club, then fair play to him. I mean, as long as that makes him happy and he's going back to spend time with his family again. So, I mean, the best of luck to him. It's at least he's real. At least he wasn't fake and going, no, I'll just play it the rest of the season. No, he was actually real about it and says, look, I'm homesick. I need to go.
That's it. And some people, that's the way it works. If you're like, for example, say if you're working offshore and you're working on an oil rig and you miss your family and you have a breakdown, you're obviously going to decide to move on. People just take things overhand. I just felt like blocking the fucker. It's like, what are you thinking? Like, what are you actually thinking? Like, some people are just literally brain dead. So, yeah. Amanda, there won't be any music on tonight. No, there won't be tonight. It'll be tomorrow. I'll be on. Amanda, I won't be having any music tonight. We're doing the football tonight. So, I get people moaning we don't talk enough about football. So
your tune kind of stream is very popular, Keith.
That's it. It's not the level. I understand why Duffy gets abused. My brother took me to several Brighton games. I can't believe he's the same player. I seen that on one of the podcasts, one of the lads down in Brighton, and he did mention, he's like, you can't be starstruck that this happened. Now, some people are talking about in the comments about loan players. So do you think Celtic need to really cough up this season come and get away from that loan panic basis?
Yeah, I think so as well.
Maybe one player alone or something, but not this malarkey of like signing players last minute alone.
See, if it's an option to buy a loan, I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
But see if it's just a straight up 6 month, 12-month loan, they have to be like really good. But I mean, I like that option to buy clause.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we do need a couple of good, decent signings in the summer. And obviously, with this new chairman coming in, I heard that he's got a habit of actually spending money. He's actually got a habit of putting funds into any venture. He's joined with the SRU.
How's it going, Daniel?
All right, mate, how you doing?
I don't know what's going on with your camera there. Name's on a bit of a fritz.
Oh,
Bit of a flash card going on there. Someone's for an attack.
I don't know what's going on, mate. Hold on.
That's it. Oh well. We'll remove you for a second while you're fixing that, right? I can see in the background.
I think it's okay now.
All right, we'll leave you to it, right? You got away with it. Yeah, the
I
same
don't
with
know. I don't know what happened there.
Same with Barcast. So right, let's move on to James McClean. Obviously, this has been going on forever. This has been going on since he refused to wear the poppy, which he's right to refuse to wear the poppy. He comes from the Cregan. He's a Derry boy. You know what the British soldiers done in Derry in 1972 will never be forgotten by the people of Derry, the people of Bogside. And I agree with he didn't have to wear the poppy. He does in the way that he signs a letter to the fans, to the club, whatever club he plays for, and he's got bullets sent to his house. It's been death threats and so-called birthday cards, and then we see what happens as well with the Instagram post as well. As I done a video on this back in July when this Black Lives Matter stuff was really kicking on, and I said, look, what about James McClean? He goes through as much abuse than most black players do.
Yeah. See, it's up to his choice. As a man, he's entitled to his views.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't agree with in this world, such as, take for instance, Tyson Fury's homophobic views, right? I don't agree with them, but he's a man, he's entitled to his opinion. And
Mm-hmm.
James McClean has got every right to refuse to wear a poppy. I mean, nobody should be forcing him to. I mean, for a start, he is Irish, and there was quite a lot of political political agendas going on back then with the Irish and British, and obviously it affected him and his family. So, of course, he's going to be like, no, fuck you, I'm not wearing it.
I definitely agree. Right, what I like, you look what there was the Millwall fans, and then there was Barnsley fans that getting abused the previous season before the fans were obviously weren't allowed to get back in stadiums, but they just abused. Like, there's I done a clip on it at the end of it. I cropped a few clips out of the fans giving them abuse, calling them the W words. It just sickening stuff. Like, even an old Sunderland supporter spitting in the car, in his car, like window and all, when his wife was pregnant. Like, some serious stuff that's horrible. Like, you know.
Yeah, all the people giving them abuse are all Tommy Robson fans.
Absolutely disgusting. As I said, like, make it hard to believe when there's a racist chat done. It's all over Sky Sports News. But when James McClean gets death threats all over social media, you eventually cop onto it. Now, I know the FAI came out now, and I know Neil Lennon came out. Neil Lennon came out and said, look, it's happened to me. I've been in that situation. I've got parcel bombs sent in my house. I've got death threats, and you had to retire from the Northern Ireland setup as well. And is this because of James used the Northern Ireland setup to get into the Irish setup because he didn't want to play for the Northern Ireland team? You know? He used to, like I said, Darren Gibson done it, Shane Duffy done it. I just think it's too much political stuff in the background going with this one. That's why I think I'd really fear from if Celtic were to go and get him. I'd fear from, because I think the type of fans, the so-called anti-fans, that are up in Glasgow, and then not just in Glasgow, in parts of Scotland, that would go out for blood from.
Yeah, it happened to Neil Lennon, obviously, with the nail bomb threats, and obviously any phone calls that the club got from him, and that it's happened to quite a lot of players. It's happened to Aidan McGeady as well, and Paddy McCourt. So it's just one of the things that, like, the footballers, at the end of the day, they're professional footballers, and they shouldn't be brought into any politics. There shouldn't be any politics in the game. I mean, take for instance, there's a few has been a few protests in football recently, but people watch football to get away from that kind of stuff and to escape. That's why people watch football, to escape from politics. So football and politics don't mix, you know.
That's it. Well, look, as I said, I know there's people on this channel that have family members are in the British Army, and I completely understand. Look, but I'll go with my views. Look at, I don't go too political about this, but my family, there's no one that's ever been British in my family that fought in the British Army. I'm proud of my history of Ireland. I said I don't do them lives for no reason. I'm proud to sing them songs and stuff like that. But like, I just think it's disgusting. You know, it's just disgusting. I just feel like he's not getting the he's not getting the justice that should be there from. You know, you don't threaten someone's kids on social media. And as I said, I think that funny screenshot on that and saying, oh look, I sent this to James McClean. I think I'm a hard man. You're not a hard man. You're gonna get tracked down. The police are gonna clamp down. And as I said, there should be, in regards to social media, there should be a verification process brought in.
Yeah, I think
it's not just for trolls. It's for underage people, for sex offenders. All this stuff should be brought in. You know, it's especially with the likes of TikTok. You know, TikTok is saying if you're under 18, you're not allowed on TikTok. But yet there's loads of teenagers and kids on it.
Yeah, they'll all they do in TikTok and other things is they'll join up with a profile, right? But they'll just put 2 years in front of their name. So say if they were born in, 2005, they'll just say they're born in 2003, and there's no way of verifying that.
That's it. We need a verification needs to be brought in, because it means that you get the trolls, and majority of the trolls that I see on TikTok don't even have a picture, don't even have a post. You know, you get them on Facebook, you get them all over social media. Over you can identify that person, then they're done. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I just know the trolls because at the end of the day, they've got a full sense of security with themselves. I mean, they're sensitive about something. Maybe they're bullied at school, I don't know. But basically, it's just words to me. If I was to get abused and verbally abused on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, I'd just be like, whatever, mate. You've not even got a picture of yourself in your profile, so fuck you.
Yeah, now look at, we go back to the whole poppy situation. I remember back in 2010, we wore the poppy away to St. Mirren, and then we wore the poppy away to Inverness as well, as far as I remember. A lot of fans picked up murder. There was absolutely murder there was. I think for a club that's found by Irish roots, we shouldn't wear the poppy. I understand people are going to argue and say, well, there was Irish people that fought in the World War for the British Army. Well, that was their decision. And people might say, oh, well, they had no choice because there was no jobs at the time because we were still under British rule. But no, it's modern day stuff. It's modern day stuff. So when it comes to wearing a poppy, it means like you're basically remembering people terrorising Irish people as well. As we go back to Derry with James McClean, and it's as I said, it was 800 years this happened in Ireland, and a lot of people in Britain don't get educated that in skills. Don't get educated that.
Well, obviously my great papa fought in the World War II, was in the Navy, but I don't need to wear like a little daft flower to like basically say that I appreciate his efforts, because I do. But I mean, I can say that with words. I don't need to specifically wear a poppy if I don't want to. But obviously, I'm not a football player, so I don't need to do that. But
they should wear a white one if they're forced. I said this before, and I got the head torn off me. If they were to wear them, like at the end of the day, Celtic pay 25 grand for the poppy, 25 grand to the Poppy Foundation every year. It's not wear it, and that's it.
Somebody said they should wear the white one if they are forced.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't really know much about it, but what's the white
one? The white poppy is meant to be a peace poppy. That's what it meant to be.
All right. So it's basically saying that there shouldn't be any war, which I do agree with, but sometimes it just isn't the case. It's just one of the things.
What score are we on for tomorrow?
What's going to be the score for tomorrow?
What? What score are you going for?
3-1.
Still think there's cracks in the defence?
I would say there is from set pieces. See if we get like a set piece against us, we're still quite shaky. We've got to work on that.
I think I'm gonna fancy 3-0 tomorrow. I think we're okay with set pieces. I think especially at home. I know I am worried about Aberdeen. At the same time, I'm quite confident that we can get up this game. I know that they're on a bit of a rope, but this is the type of game, if they win, they could bounce that season back on again. So this is an incentive for them, and all they need to look at as St. Mirren. You know, even Mick touched on this last night, and I said this many times on this podcast. We go into this season. Every team we're going to pack the bus against us, fans or no fans in Celtic Park, you know.
Yeah, I think that especially if they get a goal, like they're going to park the bus for dear life. So somebody says Aberdeen will get a goal if Shane Duffy plays. Well, yeah, I mean we've got to laugh about it, or if we didn't, we'd be crying.
It's as I said, Shane Duffy's performances is very unpredictable. You know, it's very unpredictable. As I said, I wish him the very best when he moves on the end of the season. If Neil Lennon stays on, tries to keep him on for another season, God help him. God help him.
Yeah, because he'll be turning 30 this year, won't he?
I think so. Let me check. Hey, Shane Duffy.
He's 29 just now, so I also don't know when his birthday is, but
now the joys of Shane Michael Duffy. Yeah, he's 29. He's 29. Mm-hmm. January 1st, he was born.
All right, so he's not 30 till next year.
Yeah. Look, folks, we're going to leave it there in the next couple of minutes. He's going to get a couple of comments. I'm going to let Liam go off, and I'll do a few Q&A, which isn't get interactive. But I just want to say thanks very much for Liam coming on tonight. Good podcast, good chat. It didn't dry up. It was a good conversation. Liam should be back hopefully the next couple of days. We actually have Ross County on Sunday at 7:30, so we'll get Liam on after that as well if he's around. If he's not working, we'll get him on. So
thanks very much, guys, for subscribing and watching the stream tonight. It's been some good crack. So
that's it. Sober Joe tonight. something different. Like, I don't particularly fancy doing podcast drunk, to be honest. You know, it's more for the live stuff. But
we've got to get something to keep us occupied, you know.
Exactly. So I'll leave you to it, Liam. I'm going to do the Q&A with this. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.
Right, thanks, guy. Hail.
So that was Liam. Liam did a good job tonight. Fair play to him. Good stuff. Kick him out the stream yard. He'll start laughing at that. But come on, Celtic against the Sheep Warriors. Look at Sons of the Lambs. Probably Son of the Lambs. You know, McInnes obviously is on a bit of a bad rub. A lot of the Dom fans want him out of Aberdeen, but they could turn up. I know they've lost some crucial players in the window and stuff like that, but they could turn up. I know Hedges is injured. I'm excited to see Welsh back tomorrow. I really am. I think this is a young guy that has potential to be a good centre back. A centre back, a centre back that could go far in the club, be there for a long time, and I'm looking forward to him. Looking forward to seeing more performances from him, and give him a good contract, give him a salary increase at the end of the season, because he will go places. Well, we need someone that wants to play for the jersey. As I said the other night, if the fans were in the stadium and we're winning the big games, you could see him being more hungrier than Kieran Tierney. And Kieran Tierney was at Celtic, so we'll have to see what happens. I fought through the World War, freedom, right wing. I think we move on from the whole poppy agenda stuff. As I said, it's a sticky topic, because there's some people that have family members that have been in the British Army. My views is, folks, my views, and I try to keep this as neutral as I can, because at the end of the day, we're here to talk about the green and white hoops. That's what we're here to talk about, So I don't want people to think, he's this and that. Okay, people have views about me anyway, so I can keep everyone happy. But with regards to Welch, he does have potential. He has potential, his passion. I don't know. I don't think he's going to get that solid partnership with Julian. I don't know. I think he's more solid with Oyer. I think he will be. If Oyer can stay on for another season, happy days. As I said, you could get rid of Edward go for the money, get rid of Christie. If we keep Oyer, I'd be delighted. Because Oyer has captaincy material, and that's what we need. We need a player like Oyer. He had stories through the European games, and that's what we need. They haven't scored in the last 5 or 6 games, but look at our defence. As Liam said, our defence is still rocky, as you see in the weekend. 2 players missing, 2 players not man marking for that header. So you can see what happens. There, definitely. How's it going, sir? Welcome back to the channel as well. So, folks, you are watching on the platforms, 3 platforms. A good audience here from Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you could subscribe to the channel, if you haven't, it would be really appreciated. As I said, we're going for the 5K. And if you want to buy a Come On The Hoops t-shirt as well, now there's a post on the social media platforms. Hit me up, drop me a message. They're going from £12 upwards. You're going to pay about £12 to £15 with shipping costs for Come On The Hoops t-shirt. We have them in 4 different colours. We have them in forest green, grey, black, white, and then the girls we have them in black, and we have them in white as well, with the pink crest crackers. So we've sold over 20 t-shirts. There's not money being made off them from my side. I'm just happy for people to get them, that way, and wear the crests. That's the main thing. 10-year anniversary. Favorite player of the decade has to be Scott Brown. Simple as that. Brownie has the medals to prove it. Won the trophies. He's been in the crucial games. He's captained us through crucial games. He hasn't captained us through some big games, but Scott Brown all day. Unsung hero, Brownie all day. Oyer wants to go, Keith, and has done his time. Otherwise, I would love to see him stay. I still think there's a bit of him. I just think after that Scottish Cup final, the passion he showed, I think there is something there for Oyer. If Celtic just need to cop on him, give him a good deal, and he'll stay for another season, even till January. If we get him in the Europa League, or if we get past the Champions League qualification, get him the Champions League, we'll sell him for big bucks in January. So yeah, I'd love to see it. I think we should take a gamble, and why not? Like, tie him down on a 4-year contract and try to make a few dollar off him, big time. We'll have to see. But I will be back tomorrow night, folks. I'll be back tomorrow night after the game. Me and Connor are going to be popping on. I'll try to get Michael on as well. So Connor will be on tomorrow night. Hoping his internet is fresh to death, as he said it should be. So we'll get Connor on and we'll have a chat anyway. Yeah, you know, always wear a different jersey for the different podcasts. So, anyways, folks, I'm gonna leave it there. It was lovely having you all. We had a good night tonight chatting. As I said, I don't really want to literally repeat myself and do with the same topics, but there's nothing really else to talk about. There really isn't much to talk about. Let's talk about the following games, previous games, manager situation. Callum McGregor came out and said that the team have the confidence in Neil Lennon that he's doing a good job, which I'm very surprised, because if he was doing a good job, we'd be top of the table. That's my view on it. If we'd be top of the table, we would have done well in Europe. And he came out and said that he has a good record as a Celtic manager. I don't know if he's living. I don't know if Callum's living in last season's achievements, because I think the club need to stop living in that last season achievement malarkey, because look what we've accomplished this season. Not much. 4 games on the win on a win run. That's about it. Got a good result against Lille, and that's about it. We haven't beaten our City rivals. We haven't torn up against Hibs this season. You know, we haven't torn up against Aberdeen in the league. You know, these are the so-called the big teams. Yeah, a man with a pink microphone. The reason why I have the pink microphone is the pink jersey. I have loads of different colours. You know, we go with the green, we go with the grey. You know, the grey. Look, it's a bit of a laugh. It's all a laugh, innit? It's all a laugh. Nothing to it. It's all a laugh, okay? So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there, folks. But subscribe to the channel. Give a thumbs up. Thumbs up is crucial. Crucial. Thumbs down, don't mind. Thumbs up once we get a bit of response. And if you just want to go back over the live and comment below as well, or something that you want us to bring up as well on tomorrow's show, go ahead. Go ahead. And I just want to say thank you very much. I'll go through it, and I really appreciate all the comments. I appreciate your honesty as well about the topics that we've discussed. Very appreciated. So good night, teams. Roll on tomorrow. I'm going to fancy 3-0 tomorrow. I'm going to fancy Odds Edward scoring 2, and I'm going to fancy Callum McGregor scoring. I know last night I said 3-1 and 2-1, but I'm going to go 3-0. I'm confident that we can take Aberdeen to the cleaners tomorrow. If we turn up in the first half and break midfield up, regardless if it's Scott Brown or Sorrow, get in there, high intensity football, we should be laughing. But be careful what you wish for, as you say, with Celtic this season, because it hasn't worked out what you wish for. But good night, God bless, take care, hell.